Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel. My name is ArdePiertje, also known as ArdePiertje, and today we're going to be going over my setup and let's just jump straight into it. So we're starting off with my iPad. The iPad that I use is the third generation iPad from Apple. It's a very simple iPad, 60 Hz, nothing too special. It still runs critical ops fine. Most of the stuff I do on it is fine, but it only has 2 gigs of RAM, so when I try to do video editing on it, it is sometimes stretching to its limits, but due to optimization, I still find it to be a good iPad to edit videos on. Now on the right side you have an Apple Lightning digital AV adapter. I use this to connect it to my PC to project stuff on the screen for OBS. That whole system is connected with a cable to the Elgato HD60S, which I have for about a year now. It's pretty old. It's not even out. I don't think you can even buy it anymore. You can only buy the Plus version as of recording this video, but still a very nice capture card. Now for the mic, I use the Audio-Technica 2020 USB Plus. It's a condenser microphone. One of the best USB mics in my opinion. Does the job, doesn't need a whole mixer and everything, and it runs solid. So I've been really enjoying using this mic so far. Now above the monitor, I have the Logitech C920 HD Pro. Now I do have I used to use a 720p version of that webcam, but I gifted that one to someone else. And I've bought this more expensive one that captures more lights, gets everything in HD, 1080p. Just a solid webcam for the price. Now for the Corsair setup I got going on over here, let's just start straight with the keyboard. I've got the Corsair K100 mechanical keyboard with linear switches, very nice with little tactile feedback. And then I got the Corsair Virtuoso RGB wireless headset, a very nice wireless headset that I actually recently bought. Kind of a new addition to my setup, and so far I've been enjoying it too. It gives them more of an esports vibes to the videos I'll be making, and I guess it suffices better with Windows in comparison to using AirPods. And on the other side we have the Corsair Dark Core RGB Pro SE. Very long name. SE stands for Special Edition. This one can wirelessly charge on a wireless or key charging mouse pad or something. I don't have that one myself, but it's nice. And other than that, it can use Bluetooth, it can use the bandwidth, the Wi-Fi connection to the USB thing, the USB port, and I use that system, which is essentially the same as cable. 1 millisecond, very fast response. And then we have the Corsair MM700, the mousepad, gaming mousepad that I use. Has some RGB, connects with everything, and it's also very nice. I've kind of combined every color to be blue, and so far I like this whole like color scheme I've got going on. Now moving on, I've got the AOC 144Hz 23.8-inch monitor up front, and on the right side, which I use for flight sim, I have the Acer 75Hz 21-inch. Well, the 144Hz is what I primarily use, and for flight sim, I don't think going above 60. I mean, I don't think my GPU can even handle that, but hey, before we go over to my PC, I'll quickly go over the peripherals I got for my flight sim setup. And now I've got the Honeycomb Alpha flight controls and the Bravo throttle quadrant in combination with the Logitech rudder pedals down below, and a very nice setup. I really like Honeycomb. I really like the products that they make. High quality for what they are supposed to be. You know, they're pretty realistic. Full 90-degree turns. I wish they had a bit more resistance with the yoke, but apart from that criticism, other than that, I really like the peripherals that I'm using, and I like how you can switch them out on the Bravo throttle and how you can mess around with the controls and the settings of flight sim itself. Now for my PC, or the personal computer I use, I've got an AMD Ryzen 1800X. I still have a GTX 1060 6 gigs, but I'm borrowing this 1660 Super from a friend. And I have 16 gigs of RAM, DDR4, 2600 megahertz, but you can basically overclock them to 3200 megahertz. They don't care. At least from my experience, it has worked. Although the improvement isn't really that. I don't really care about the improvement. It hasn't really been that noticeable. Usually it is with AMD CPUs. But I've not really noticed it that much, and sometimes it just randomly sets itself back to 2600 hertz. I have no idea why. The motherboard was like 30 bucks. I'm not even gonna go over the motherboard. It's not a great motherboard. I've also got a Corsair power supply, 550 watts. Plenty, way too much actually. My whole system, even with the 1660 Super, it's a single fan by the way, uses like what? 300 watts, maybe even less. So 550 watts is kind of overkill, but I like to go overkill with things that I don't want to see explode. Now, other than that, I've got 2 terabytes of NVMe storage combined with 1 terabyte and 256 terabytes of SATA storage. All of them are SSDs. Alright, that was my setup video. Hope you guys all enjoyed watching. Leave your questions below if you have any, and take care.